Hello everyone, I hope you're doing great. So, we were supposed to start our core data services and Fury elements for Bapper in August, but I thought, handling these many parallel streams, live streams in parallel can get tricky because we already have SAP UI5 for Bappers going on in parallel as a live stream, and then we have Node.js for Bappers, which we are doing via what do we call it via recorded one. So I thought, why shall we waste? There is still a time between today and 13 or 14, 15 August, so it makes sense to start recording videos and start sharing with you guys because we have already covered the setup. So in that scenario, what I would request is that everyone shall join our Discord server because that is where we will provide all the support, clarify your doubts, and of course community.sap.com is our go-to place for everything. And along with it, you can comment also to get your doubts clarified. And it is very important for you to register for this event also. That's free. It's free. We don't, education is always free. But why I'm asking you to register is because we'll be emailing you the assignment after every episode, web series, whatever, right? So let's begin our first, we'll take some baby steps in this journey of understanding core data services and Fury elements. As might have also set up your system, ABAP NetWeaver 751, we have already set up. It is active, as you can see. So we will basically, and I have also connected this also, right, our NPL system also. So before I actually jump into directly coding, I think it makes sense to talk about core data services. What are these? Why SAP came up with them? So if you looked in our traditional ABAP development, what we were doing we were kind of selecting the data from the tables, and we will bringing them into the application server, into the memory, where we were doing our own processing logic and everything, and then we were displaying it in a report, right? So it was like if I just have to draw to make you understand, it was typically you have your DB, right, and then you have your application server, right, and then you have your output. So this output can be ALV, can be a module pool, WebDynPro, whatever, right? And how was the data moving was, we were selecting from tables, select, right, and then here we were processing them. By processing I mean loops, conversions, logic, anything, and then we were displaying it to the output, right? So with slowly, as the technology is changing, evolving, the hardware becomes cheap, and with coming of HANA also, what has happened is our database are very powerful, and it makes sense to utilize that powerful processing, right? So that is where the concept of core data services comes. And what happens in core data services is that, let me go back and I make another dashboard, black one, yeah. So with coming of concept of core data services, what happen is that you still have your DB, right, but on these where you have your tables, right, then on top of it you create your CDS views, right? So once you create those CDS views, they generate a complex SQL, or you can say NSQL, native SQL statements which are created on our database. It can be HANA or non-HANA, right? So now when you call this CDS view, when you say select from this, right, select on CDS, right? So it actually, the select, what it does is it actually goes from here to directly the database. So it does all the processing and everything in the database, right? And then it returns the result. Now you must be thinking that, okay, on HANA it definitely is clear, but how is this performance on a non-HANA database, right? So so for HANA, definitely CDS is the way to be for our HANA stuff, as for HANA, right, or HANA, whatever, right? But for non-HANA database, we still have a question. So it depends on situation to situation. That is the recommendation from SAP. You need to test your system, you need to test your core data services views to very carefully, and then based on it, if it performs well, then only you proceed. But for HANA, it is very clear. So what we do is basically on top of database tables, we create our own data model. For example, imagine you have purchase order header, purchase order items, then you have it's on deliveries, customers, vendors, partners. So on utilizing all these tables, you create a different CDS views which contains all your fields which you need finally, along with some processing logic and everything. Then you basically use that CDS views to basically create services or do whatever. So that is what we will try to hold on we will try to understand in our this journey. What is core data services, what is Fiori elements, what is annotations, what are different ways of accessing these core data services, what are different options and all. So with this, we will start with our journey slowly and steadily, and in case you have any doubts, feel free to shoot your questions. Okay, so with what I would like to do now is, since it's a new system, so I think it makes sense that we have our own set of tables, custom tables, so that we are independent of any other system versions and all. And then based on those tables, for example, if somebody has different version, they can also create those tables, right, rather than using the existing tables which might not exist in their system, which is different from this, right? So what we will do is we'll create a small data model which is different, which will have around 4 tables maybe. I think because we have been working with purchase order a lot, we'll use that. So we will create a purchase order model, right? For that, we'll create first database tables. Now you can see I have started my instance again because I disconnected, and now you can see my background change, my close change, because that's how recording happens when you have kids at home. So anyways, coming back to the topic, so we'll be working on our we'll be creating custom tables, and then on those custom tables we will create our models, right? So maybe I can quickly show you what we want to do right now is that we will create first. So maybe what we will do is as follow. Let me maximize it. Yes. So what we will do is we'll have PO header table, and then we have PO item table, and then maybe we can have plant master, right? And we can also have company code masters. So these are basically linked here, right? And then PO header is linked to PO items, right? And then we can have our own material master, right? and PO items are linked to material master. So one material is 1:1. This is like, this is 1:many. This is again 1:1, 1:1, right? We'll have some fields, and then so the ones so maybe we will now slowly, as we will progress, we will keep adding fields, we'll keep enhancing this model, right? So this is at a very high level what we will do, right? So maybe let's go back to our system, and let's start by creating these tables, and then we will start inserting the data. What I will do is to keep things simple, we can create a table maintenance generator on top of them, and we'll create some dummy entries, or I can do it via a report. We'll see what we can do. Okay, so I hope my system has started, and let me just do a refresh, right? And so first thing which I will do is do a right click, and I will create a package for us, right? So we will have jet CDS, not ABAP. This we created for our trial for those first CDS. So we will create a package jet CDS ABAP. We have already created in our trial. So jet CDS for ABAP. Okay, and let this thing will open the SAP logon. So we have this pop-up. We will I'll add a description, CDS for ABAPers. Rest all is okay, and I might create a new transport request for this. So let that be again CDS for ABAPers, and save, and we will then basically create all the developments under this. Okay, so let me close this. Under my favorite package, I do a right click, I say add package jet CDS star. So for ABAP was our package, so now it is added, right? So next is we have our package, but we don't have anything. So next we will create as database tables, the ones which we have discussed here: header, items, company master, plant master, and material master. So I've added another system also. Right now we will create database tables, but why I have added another system is because I want to show you that this is the another system is S4HANA 1909 system. So the process of creating the table is bit different from what we will be doing in our ABAP development system, right? So we will see how it matters, right? For example, let me first create a database table in our S4HANA system and see how it looks. I'll go to right click, I'll do a new, and I choose other, and then I have to type database, right? And here you see this is database table. Let me give it a name. Okay, password. Okay, I need to log in. Let this thing log in, and then we will see how does so it says package. I say local package as of now. It says for HANA, so I'm just trying to show you how it is. And name is jet test. Let's name it as test header, and maybe test header 1, and testing S4HANA system table, S4HANA table, how it is created. Next, since it's a local one, no need of a transport. And now you will see how does it look. See that, let me make it big. We'll talk about this, don't worry. That it opens a kind of an editor where you can define your table. For example, it has client, and then you can have you can define your own plant bab dot char whatever. So abap dot char length is 10, right? And so on and on. That's how you normally you will define the fields here, right? But let's try to now create in our system, right? uh, Let me log in here also. Okay, so we are logged in, and now maybe I'll try to do a right click on our package, and I choose again database table, right? But similarly the same way how we have done in our S4HANA. So I say I'll create our first table, which is just jetpuhtr. You see this enter description in SAP GUI. So it is like bit different because we are at a lower versions, or not a lower version, we are not at the latest one at least. So it will, what it will open is it, I believe it will open a SAP GUI. Yes, and I'll close this other one just to avoid confusion, and in fact I will remove this so that we only have one. So now it is our old screen, nothing fancy. So I will quickly create these tables. See, yes. I'm keeping display maintenance allowed because we'll add uh, we will create the entries via TMG. That's what I'm thinking. Later might change. So MANDT. What do we need? eBalance, and we will not have a eBalance here because we have an eBalance. Wow, hold on. If we have an eBalance, then we shall have purchase order also, right? Let me check where is it is used. So table fields, it is not found in anywhere. It is just that the data element exists, but those things, other things don't exist. I think at least it is good that we have the data elements. We don't need to create more of G stuff. So okay, evalent, then so at least we have our very basic crude database table ready. As you can see, I know we can have multiple entries for text in different languages, or for PO items we can have many fields for PO header also. But I think to keep things simple, I have kept minimum fields. We will slowly evolve based on whatever is the situation. We will try to add more fields to it. Okay, so we have created our tables. Now let's create a program to basically insert data into the table. So I will choose program, and I'll call it as jet fill data. Okay, fill data. Okay, and then I say next, and yes, finish. So I have already prepared the code. Maybe we can quickly check it. So you have here is first is company code master, then you are inserting the values, plant code, material code, PO header, and PO items. So all you need to do is click here, which is same as Control F3 like we have it in our SAP GUI, or you can do run your checks also if you want. For example, if I click here, it says ABAP syntax check for this contains no error. Very good. So now I think we can activate it. Object is activated, and all I need to do is press an F8, and I hope it works without a dump. And normally every program gives dump the moment you run it first time, so I think it has run. And if I just do a right click, open with data preview, we are all good. You have material master data, and this is our what is this, PO header, looks okay. And then I say this one is our PO item, and basically all the data is available, right? And if you want to see what query was run, you can click here and it shows you. Select from this all so and so stuff. Okay, so now in fact, you need to explore more here, which we will. For example, if you click here, it will tell you how many entries are there. It's like the same in SC16 we had, right? Or you can change the layout, whatever you want to display, it will accordingly basically change it, right? Select required columns. Okay, I don't want this, and okay, why it is not reflecting? So maybe I have to run it again, then it will reflect. Oh, anyway, so we will just explore this and see how it goes. Let me close this. Okay, so now we are able to see that we have data in the tables, and if I just say close all, and if you look here, we have got our categorization also, that we have programs, right? I've created this program, I've created this, right? This all I will be sharing via GitHub also, using ABAP Git, and I'm trying to set that up, so hopefully soon you will have this repository available with you. Now okay, so we have, in our episode 0 we set up our system access. In episode 1 we have set up our tables. I think it makes sense to at least create some basic views, right? So what we will do is, for each of these table we will create a CDS. Okay, so once we have created that CDS, right, so that will act as a base for us, a base layer where you have all the CDS on all these tables. Then you can build on top of it layer by layer, right? For example, the first layer will be all views, basic one, and then on top of it you will say, okay, I want a combination of PO header, plant, and company code, so you will build another view. And then on another side you want PO item and Mara combination, so you'll have two views. And then you can have a third view which can combine these two also, and which will be like a final view which anyone can use to search for data, do selects or whatever, right? So basically we'll in this session we'll create basic views for all these. We'll go slow because people are moving from, some of you might, or most of you might be expert. I don't know how many are expert, but I think considering the every one of our community, so let's assume everyone is starting from beginning. Okay, so without wasting further much time, I will say I will go ahead and I'll say I need a data definition. We have in core data services, if you check, there is access control, data definition, metadata extension, variant, and they may vary based on system to system. We will be covering access control also, data definition also, these different things we will be covering. So let's start with data definition, and all you need to do is next, right? And one second, let me open this so that I know what tables we have, right? So I will say data definition. So this is where you provide the name of your CDS view. What do you want the view to be? And because I would like this to be called as Mara, Jedi Mara, right? So basically, it's like a concept is like this. You first create a basic views on top of each table, which is interface views, we call them as, right? Interface views are like something based on which you will create some views which can be consumed by end user. These interface views will not be used by anybody else. These are like in classes you have private things, right? So these are like private. Now people can, based on it, they can create different views which can be consumed by the public. So that will be like a consumption view. So we'll say Mara CDS. Let's call it as Mara CDS, right? Because we are going to build it on Material Master, and I say package is this, right? And then all you need to do is press next, and this is our CDS for ABAPers, right? Yes, this is the one. Now this is where things get interesting. So it tells you, like in our ABAP program we had patterns, right? You can call any function, it will automatically create a template kind of a thing, or you can create your change logs, etc. The same way here also it gives you templates. For example, if you want to define a simple view, a view with a join, view with the association, if you click here, right, it also will, you will see these things are changing, right? So the moment I say define view, it's, this thing is like stays like this. Don't worry about them. These are all things we will go deep into slowly and steadily. If you want to create a join, you have this syntax. If you want to create an association, two parent parameter views, there are like sky's the limit. So we'll start with the first one. We'll say I want to create a basic view, okay, and I will say finish. Okay, so let's see what happens once I create this view. So let's see what all we have. So we have, one is this something which starts with @ is norm, is what we call it as annotations. It's like for example, it is used to enhance, it is used to also enhance the meaning of the fields whatever are there inside. Along with it is also used to set, to mention the certain properties, many other things. So we will see how do we basically kind of enhance our CDS is like it creates a SQL view on the backend, right? So how do we enhance its value? So views were already there, right? How do we enhance its value is via annotations. Via annotations, we can also say that, okay, these fields will be the filters, these fields will be displayed in the table, these will be hidden, these will be like you will generate CDS or OData services, right? So annotations will be using, and we'll cover each one of them. Okay, so let's start from here. So it says @ABAP catalog, the SQL view name. You remember when we explained you, I think in the beginning, that okay, this as soon as you create a CDS view, it will generate a complex SQL and it will create a view on the server side also on the database. So we'll have it as a different name, and I will say Jedi SQL, right? So Jedi Mara SQL, and then compare preserve key true. It is like whatever key is you are defining here, the same key will be created on the view also. Otherwise what happens normally is that, for example, you have three tables, right? Three different tables or three different views or three different whatever are there, right? And you create a one single CDS on top of them, right? So now in that CDS you also defines what are our key fields. But what if we don't provide this key? What SAP will does is, when it is creating this database SQL view, it will look at all those three table sources and decide, okay, this is how I will basically kind of determine its key automatically. So in order to override it, whatever key we will define, the same key will be created on Jedi Mara SQL. Okay, and authorization check, yes, you see this is what I defined in the description, and the same is defined here. @end user is text. It is same like you create a table, you provide its name and description, so that description now goes here via this. So I said select define view Jedi Mara. Okay, Mara is the view we want to create. On what thing? Select from what? So I say select from Jed Mara, right? Now this is where things get interesting. It says now, okay, you have defined that my interface view, which is a CDS, is based on Mara, right? But what all fields where we have defined those fields, that is what we'll say here. So what I will do is I'll press control space here, right? So it basically automatically finds all the columns, right? So maybe if I choose insert all, right, or if you look at there are other things also, there are functions also. We'll look at them, don't worry, we'll look at them. To start with, let's say that I want all the fields, right? And when I say I want all the fields, I'll say what it is saying is this the syntax error in this system expected the following statements. Yeah. No, they expected nothing. So now I say that my, maybe I'll remove this because client anyways we don't want, and I'll say I need material MAKTX, right? Okay, one thing more I wanted to forgot actually. If I say comma like this, you see this in the bottom, there's this problem it is showing. Syntax error in this, so and so, Jedi Mara, DDLS, path, line number 8. It's the same like it automatically run those checks. So if I just remove this and this, so I have now defined a view. So maybe because our Mara will always have key field as Metner, so I'll say key is Metner, right? And I just press save now. Nothing fancy. I'll just press save and then I do run a check. All looks okay. I click on activate. It is activating. You can, if you look at this progress, it is already showing you, right? So now you can see it is checking syntax, no operation, object Mara is activated. Okay. So now if I do a F5 here, or maybe I do a refresh here, correct, you see there is this view which has come. What is that view? Jedi Mara SQL, the same one. So whenever you will create any CDS, it will create a SQL, complex SQL view on Mara, right? And if I just click here and if I say just F, it is navigating, let it do whatever it is doing. It takes some time, which is okay, but let's just look at here. So this is already, so finally we are navigated. So now we see this is a database SQL view, right? What is the description? The same one. From that annotation it has come here. This is important. If you look at our normal SQL view, you would not have any source. Here you have a source, which is what? Our CDS one. So we'll select from this CDS. That CDS will pass, then will use this SQL basically to fetch the data. And if you look at this, the key fields are already there, right? MNDT is by default, so which is okay. If I close this, right, so I have this thing here, here. So another way of going through this is either you press F3 or you can double click also, right? And you can also see the SQL create statement also. Okay, so if you just say SQL create, what statement was executed at database level, create view this, right? So this is what was executed. Clear? So now this we have seen, that's our basic view is created, how it generates these two things, right? And now if I just, let me see if we get that info here, I don't know. So this is CDS for Webers, NPL, yeah. This is Jedi Mara, yes. So now once I have created this thing, there are three things which has happened. Okay, so one thing which has happened is, first of all, is there is this entry which has come, which is called as DDLS, data definition language source. This is a transportable entry. This is from there the system knows that okay, this is a CDS which was defined, and the moment it moved to the next system, it will automatically create these one, the views also as well as this. That's why you don't see here them, right? So there are three things. One is this Jedi Mara, which is our CDS view. Then there is a SQL view, Jedi Mara SQL, and then there is Jedi Mara independent, which is data definition. Okay, so three things get created whenever you define any CDS views. Okay, now, and in fact now see, you see we explored problems, right? There is a warning. What is the warning? No access control. Yes, because I said I have not defined any uh, uh, what do we call it, as any authorization check or something, right? So that's why it is a warning. We can ignore it. Now if you just click here and you bring here, so it shows you that okay, this is the CDS ABAP, version is active, right? And if I just say space and now say save, let's see what happens. So now it becomes inactive, right? Because I just press save and it becomes inactive, and I can activate also, which is okay. Or I can, now in case I want to see the difference, right? For example, I'll say tab CDS1, right? And this is inactive, and if I just click here, then it shows me this is active, right? So that you can compare it. What is the difference between an activate version and an inactivate one? And then it tells who has created it, right? And the rest is okay. This is a simple one, right? And I just say activate again. So now it is active, and so this is okay. So problem we have seen, properties we have seen, transport organizer we have seen, progress also we have seen. These two will slowly come. Bookmarks also maybe we can describe. For example, uh, I want I don't want to open this stuff always, right? I want that there should be any shortcut here. So I think you can do a right click and say add bookmark. So you see this, there's a bookmark. So now as soon as something I am logged in, I don't need to go here. I'll go to my bookmarks and I double click and it is opened, right? And templates, you have these templates. This is what we saw, right? You can define your own also. So for example, we saw this define view, right? Oh, no. So we saw this template. This is how it was coming, right? Okay, so then what is next? Properties we have done, this we have done, this we have done. Then yes, this one. Now on the left hand side you will see there is an outline also which is coming. You can see there is a select from what? Select from Jedi Mara. What all fields are selected? Matner and MAKTX. There is a key also. So this will automatically get generated. I hope it is clear, right? And so we have created one SQL view, the CDS views, and if I just do a right click and I say open with data preview, so it shows me those two fields. What was the SQL console? The same one, right? And then you can add filters, columns. We have seen how it goes. Sometimes it works, why it was not working, I'll not go into that history. And this is a log you want to check how much time this thing take, right? So what I want is now that I think what I will do is we have already, that's a that I think that makes sense to stop right now, because these five, for the rest of the four tables I would request you to create interface views, right? And then from next session we will then start creating those consumption views on top of them, and along with it we will be using many functions. When I said is, if you see, if I say control space, there are many things, these functions, casting, how one entity is related to another one, right? We create those associations, or we will basically see how different case switch. There are trillions of things which we'll cover. Okay, so I'll just stop here and let me just summarize what we have done so far. So we started with our system which was set. Then we said okay, Since our system is raw, we will create our database. So we created all these tables, right? Then we wrote a program where also we learned how do we uh, give a kind of a 2 and F5. Where is my program? Yeah. So where we learned that okay, this is another new syntax which we can use, which we were not, we were in our old app we were filling those internal tables and stuff. So this is directly you can do. I think I've seen a app becoming more and more flexible like JavaScript. Eventually, we will learn. Then we filled the data, right? Then I created one of the first view on basic view on this is a SQL view. This is if you go here. This is a basic view which we created. Then we see how do we navigate to the SQL view from here, which opens this one, right? And then we basically kind of went through this problems, properties, bookmarks is still there. Yeah, this is nice. And then we understood that okay, as soon as you generate a CDS, there are three views, three things gets created. One is an entry in your transport, which is data definition, DDLS they call it, which basically transports from one system to another. Then there is two views. One is a CDS one, and is a core data services, and another is a in this view. And then we went through this outline. So I hope you will be able to. I'll be emailing the assignment to the ones who have registered for this free course, right? Education is free and it will always remain free. So I'll mail the assignment also, right? And for the ones who have not registered, request you to register also. And I hope you will like it. Slowly we'll build on this momentum. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Take care. Stay safe. Bye bye. आइए अब आप कॉल